So it's good video time once again for Marvel's Avengers. We will be having a look at some changes to upcoming sets that are coming with patch 2.3, which is coming out in the month of March. So we will specifically have 3 sets. It's the Classic, the Technical and the Apex sets. Now what they essentially are existing sets where some perks have been changed on them to give them a theme of sorts. So what I've done, I went through the old infographics I had from before, and using the latest blog post I've actually put in information on the new perks. So essentially we've got new up-to-date infographics on the gear that's coming out before the gear is actually out. So in this video I'll break down each of the 3 different sets. I'll tell you if I think they're actually worthwhile farming. We'll run over the new perks and what my thoughts are on them, and I'll tell you where you actually go to farm them as well. Now I've already done one of these videos for Iron Man. Today of course we're looking at Thor, but I've already done one for Iron Man. But let me know who you would like to see next in the comments below, and I'll get working on them as well. But let's jump in and we'll start by having a look at the Classic set first. Now what we've got here is a little blog description on what the Classic set actually is, what the aim of the set is. Now before I do quickly read it out, I'm just going to mention that Ugly Guy 25 reached out to me on Reddit in regards to these sets because he's looking to compile a spreadsheet as well, and it's actually helped out a ton, so props to him for helping out with this. But the Classic set here, so just to quickly read this out, the Classic power set is designed around highlighting several key features of the hero without focusing on any single aspect. Pieces from this set can be matched well with other sets as it does not rely on itself due to having general overall improvements. The hero set is perfect for those trying to create custom builds and filling in the blanks while experimenting. So the later sets like Technical and Apex, you'll see themes with them, whereas with this it's just various random perks that may or may not fit into a build that you're actually aiming for. But let's talk about where you farm it now. So this gear piece originally dropped from your elite hives, and it will actually still drop there, but it will drop from your normal villain sectors. That's your dailies you get as well, and then on top of that there'll be a weekly elite villain sector that will drop 2 pieces of the gear, and we'll have a chance of the gear actually being exotic, which means there'll be the higher roll range on it, I presume. So that's where you actually farm it. Let's have a look at the new infographic. So when it comes to the Classic set then, with the heroes I've looked at so far, this looks to be the most underwhelming one in regards to the changes that have happened. Before I break down the one perk that's changed on this, I'll just mention that on the slot 4, which is the heroic one, the stat roll range is going to change. Previously you would be able to get Precision, Resolve and Valor, but now Might has a chance of dropping in this as well, so that is a great improvement. It means if you're a melee based character, suddenly the heroic slot can become a lot more useful if you get a Might roll on it. Now in regards to the perk that has changed, previously this used to give you an increase in your recharge time for your ultimate, which is your Bifrost. It's now changed to Assault Empowerment, so increases willpower and heroic regen while overcharged. Don't play Thor a lot, but when I used to play him it was quite hard to keep overcharge up because one hit and you would actually get knocked out of it. So personally I think this is a bit of a downgrade. I far preferred getting the Bifrost up quicker than what they've actually done with this here, so this one is really pretty disappointing. But let's have a look at the next set. This is a Technical set. We'll start off then with a quick overview of this particular set. So the Technical power set is designed around a technical or support aspect of the hero, while being more focused in survival, close combat and armour. So this is more for your melee builds. States many perks will increase the duration of skills, add defensive, offensive capabilities to heroics, or help heroes while in the thick of combat. This has gotten a huge overhaul with new perks for heroes to help meet this intent. So where do you actually go to farm this? So the set that's been changed to now become the Technical set. Previously you would farm it from the vaults, you still farm it from the vaults, but how you actually do that has changed, and I think it's a massive downgrade unfortunately. So previously what you would do, you needed, if you completed the vault, you needed to get a vault key from the likes of Day of the Remains or Stark Realities before you could go back in again, but there was multiple vaults on the map as well. They've now changed that so you can only do 1 vault per day, which I absolutely hate. It's putting time gating in the game when everyone is against time gating, so you can only do 1 vault per day. You also have an elite vault mission, and similar to the one for the Classic set, it will give you 2 gear pieces with a chance of an exotic as well, so that is nice, but additional time gating is not what the game needs at all. But that's where you go to farm it. It's essentially your vaults, but it is now time gated. So with this gear set then, there's 4 different perks that have changed. The first one we look at is on your melee slot 1. This is called Warrior's Fury Destruction. So with this, increases all status damage dealt by 25%, so it's technically better than a potentiator. What we need to find out is how it works. A lot of times you'll have things that will say it's status damage when it's actually only status meter build up. It seems to change with each patch whether or not it affects it or not, but if it does affect flat damage, then 25% is a real nice amount to get, especially given the fact on Thor it's very easy to apply your status damage as well. Moving over to the slot 3, it's a third perk down, so this is the defensive slot. You've got Odin Force Safeguard, provides armour based on amount of intrinsic energy you have, so heroes generally don't have much of a way to increase their intrinsic energy pool, so I'm curious how this works, if it will be your total energy pool or it will be how much energy you have at a specific point in time. We really need to wait until the patch comes out to see whether or not this will be worthwhile using and if it's worthwhile trying to stack intrinsic energy if you can have it, but again there's not many ways you can actually increase your energy pool. Looking at the slot 4 here, this one you've got Assault Empowerment, so a high chance to activate Intrinsic Burst on God Blast. That's decent, but I believe before it was actually something like an 18% increase in the recharge speed of, I think it was either your Assault or Ultimate Heroic, because I probably preferred that, to be honest, having the older one. And then you've got Warrior's Fury Extension, increases duration of Warrior's Fury, which is pretty good, but when we look at the Apex set, there's a perk in this same slot 4 that's actually far superior to it, which makes this one a little bit irrelevant here. So overall, nothing really that great. Probably the slot 1 I would say is decent, getting that additional 25% status damage as long as it's status damage and not status meter build up. But let's look at the final set now. This is the Apex set. So with this set here then, it can be farmed from your priority missions, and that's your flashback missions as well. Down the bottom it tells you the intent of this, so it says the intent of this set is to excel at a single aspect in a hero's kit, be that power attacks or group attacks. Many of the perks are set up to stack on top of each other to make that specific ability powerful at the cost of adding little to other abilities, kind of like a glass cannon. I like the idea of sets of these ones that have a strong theme to make you strong in one area and maybe you'll lack in another, but you can choose to specialise in that particular area. But let's have a look at the infographic for it. So it is actually just the 2 perks that have changed here. You've got your defensive slot, it's your middle perk. It's now changed to one. I've never seen anything like this before apart from raid gear. It's Lethal Unarmed Cryo Leak. So spreads Cryo Leak for each enemy defeated whilst unarmed. Don't personally know how useful it is to actually go for the unarmed route on Force. I can't really comment on that too much, but at least it is something different. And then you've got the Heroic slot 4, again it's a middle perk that's changed. This one is Rampart Lethal Extension. This looks pretty great. Extends Warrior's Fury duration for each enemy defeated. So other heroes that have similar buffs like this, like Spider-Man and the likes of Black Panther and so on, depending on your setup you can get close to 100% uptime on the buff from it. So I'm curious if this will allow you to work towards trying to get a build that will have 100% uptime on the Warrior's Fury buff, and then just trying to choose lots of perks that are based around that as well. So again, I actually find that one really pretty interesting as well. So that's all the new perks for Thor. Overall, I mentioned it in the Iron Man video, personally these won't really get me back to the game. I'm enjoying Elder Scrolls and Elden Ring at the moment. I'm having a ton playing them, and given we've waited like 18 months for changes on perks, they aren't anything amazing. It's a step in the right direction, but yeah, again for me personally it's not enough to get me back playing or anything like that, as much as I will still do the videos covering what the perks are actually. But do let me know in the comments below which character you would like to see next. As mentioned, I've already done Iron Man, this is 4, so I think it's 8 more characters we've got to do. But let me know who you'd like to see, and thanks for tuning in, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon.